So your wife doesn't want you sexually. I've been there, done that. It's no fun at all. And I would wager that every married man has been there as well. And a good way to think about it, or start to think about it, is whether this is an acute problem or if it's a chronic problem. Is it the exception to the rule, or is it the rule? And if it's the exception to the rule, then water off a duck's back. Water off a duck's back. These kinds of things are going to happen. Every marriage has ups and downs, ebbs and flows. It's cyclical. Now you should use it as a signal to take a look at yourself and ask, well, how are you doing? Are you on the path? Are you improving? Do you have goals, and are you pursuing them? Do you have goals outside the family, and are you pursuing them? Do you have a life outside the house, outside of work, and are you invested in it? Are you engaged with it? Those are a few things. If it's an acute problem, I would look at that and just make sure that you're on the right path. Now, if it's a chronic problem, well, that means that that's become the status quo, that your wife she doesn't want you sexually. And the reason she doesn't want you sexually, why doesn't she want you sexually, is because she's not attracted to you. Yeah, she's not attracted to you. Because if she was attracted to you, then she would want to have sex with you. That's kind of how it works. Now, if you were like me, I went through this. Literally, my wife sat me on the couch and said, I'm not attracted to you. And, nearly ended my marriage. And it's literally the thing that got me here to be the kind of person who'd be making a video to share with you about your wife being attracted to you. So, when you and your wife first got together, attraction was an unconscious thing. That means you didn't have to think about it. It was just there, and that was kind of the fun of it, right? That magical, mysterious, I don't know what's happening to me, but I just want to, all that. That felt good. And part of the reason it felt good is because it was unknown, because it was unconscious. But over time, as you're with this woman for longer and longer and longer, you become more and more similar. She's less unknown and more known, right? You've explored the territory, so to speak. And so there's less attraction there. That's normal. It's a normal part of being in a marriage. Now the question is whether or not you're willing to do what it takes to learn how attraction works, and then to start changing yourself, your behavior, your thinking primarily, so that you can restart attraction with your wife. And it's really that simple. Now, if it's a chronic thing, you take a long, hard look in the mirror, and you got to ask yourself, well, are you fit? You in shape? And I know if you're not, I don't judge you for that. I wasn't in shape once upon a time. But your wife isn't going to be attracted to you because she made vows to you. She's not going to be attracted to you because she says she loves you. Because the part of her that is attracted to you is below that. It's more primal than that. It's the body. And it responds on its own. You can't control it. She cannot control attraction. You cannot control attraction. You can't control whether or not you're attracted to her. You can control how you think and act and behave so that your wife is more likely to be attracted to you, yes. But you can't control whether or not you're attracted to her. And she cannot control whether or not she's attracted to you, no matter what vows she said to you, no matter how much she loves you. And it's like that. It's like that. So fitness is a good thing to look at. And if you're not, no shame in that game. But hey, tomorrow's a new day. Let's get started. There's that old Chinese saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The next best time is today. And then look at what about your finances? Are you getting ahead every month, or are you falling behind every month? All right. If you're staying the same, you're falling behind. Really, if you're staying the same, you're falling behind. Do you know what your mission is in life? What's your mission? What are you here on life to do? And if you say, take care of my wife and my kids, that is your duty. It's not your mission. Your mission is that purpose that you pursue because you want to make an impact on the world. You want to make the world a better place in this way or that way. That's your mission. And your frame. What's your frame? Like, do you happy wife, happy life your wife? Terrible idea. Does your frame crumble? Do you have a frame? Do you even know what I mean when I say frame? Because that means frame is your version of reality, your narrative of reality. And you carry that around and you speak out of that frame versus like trying to get into your wife's frame, where it's like she says something, so her meaning of the situation must be correct. That's frame. Frame is a little bit complicated and outside the scope of this video. So the good news is if you're in the chronic state, meaning your wife she chronically doesn't want you sexually, the good news is that you can learn to get a handle on these elements of attraction and then implement them so that you can restart attraction. Now, it won't happen overnight. It will not happen overnight. It's a ship and it's sailing, and you need to adjust course slowly. But the good news is that I got a link below to a free 3-video series on the 3 steps to restart attraction with your wife. There's just a few minutes long each video, and they're practical, they're actionable, and it's big picture. So you're going to understand a way to look at attraction so that your wife will become more attracted to you over time. So check it out. Click the link below.